Hi guys, in today's video I wanted to film a kind of do's and don'ts specifically with eyeshadow. There's quite a few of these videos already on YouTube, already online, but I kind of wanted to just film like my own take on it. I feel like every artist kind of has their own kind of little tips and tricks how to do eye makeup. So yeah, I wanted to basically show you some kind of like common mistakes that I feel like people make when they're doing their eyeshadow and kind of how to rectify it and how to do it in a way where it's going to flatter your eye a little bit better and actually do the job that makeup is supposed to do, which is obviously enhance your features, make your eyes look bigger in this case, and all of that kind of good stuff. Just as a kind of quick disclaimer, I know that there is no right or wrong way of doing makeup. Makeup can be whatever you want it to be, so do your thing, do what you want, but there definitely is a kind of theory and a kind of way that you can do your makeup to enhance your features more than other ways of doing makeup. So yeah, if you do some of the techniques on my don't side and you actually love the way they look on you, then fair dues. Carry on doing it. Like, I'm not saying that the way you do your makeup is bad or anything like that, but this video is just here for kind of like educational purposes and just for a bit of fun. So I hope you enjoy it. Please like the video if you do enjoy it and also subscribe, all of that good stuff. I'll leave my Instagram on the screen as well, so if you don't follow me over there, definitely go and follow me over there. I did create this base makeup on my Instagram, so that'll be over there if you're interested in that. So the palette that I've chosen to use today is the Going Coconuts palette from Colourpop. I'm actually yet to use this. This will be the first time that I've used it. So this is what it looks like. It is stunning, and I feel like this is the type of colours that everyone will have in their collection somewhere in some palette. Like, they're quite neutral, they're quite sort of wearable. These colours will kind of suit a load of different skin tones and all of that good stuff, and they're warm shades as well, which I feel like for the majority people enjoy warm shades, you know. Okay, so on this side of my face I'm going to do the don't side. So this is going to be my don't eye and this is going to be my do eye. I'm going to start off with my don't eye first so that I can show you the mistake and then how to kind of like rectify it. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do on my don't eye is I'm going to go in with the P. Louise base. This is in the shade 02, Rumor 02. So I'm just going to go in and kind of like apply this all over my eye on the don't side. The reason why I'm applying this on the don't side, there is nothing wrong with this product. I actually really enjoy this product. However, this base is best used when you're doing really kind of colourful, bright eyeshadow, that kind of P. Louise look. I'll put a picture on the screen here if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's the kind of makeup where it's very full on, the colour is very intensely packed onto the eyelids, which this base is basically designed for that kind of look. I don't really feel like you need something like this when you're going in with quite a neutral eye palette. Personally, I feel like it just adds a little bit of an extra layer of kind of texture that you don't necessarily need. For my do side, I'm just going to go in with a bit of concealer, and to be honest, I literally just use any concealer that I've used that day under my eyes. So today I used the NARS Creamy Concealer, and I'm literally just going to take the tiniest little bit, like that is literally more than enough, and I'm just going to kind of blend this with my finger. To be honest, sometimes I won't even do this. Like, sometimes I'll literally just kind of lightly dust a little bit of powder over my eyelid, because quite often concealer and foundation travels up to my eyelid anyway. But just for the sake of this video, this is definitely something that you can do if you've got a little bit of kind of like discoloration on your lids, or you've got like little veins or anything like that, and you just want to kind of even everything out before you go in with your eyeshadow. So you can't really see too much on camera, but I don't know if you can tell, but this eye looks a little bit more natural than this eye. This eye looks a little bit more bright, which is absolutely fine. If you're going in with like a lot of bright shades, then this kind of situation, primer situation, would be absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to kind of lightly set that concealer in place. This is just using whatever is left on my brush. So this was the brush that I actually used to powder with today. So it's got a little bit of kind of leftover product. So I'm just going to kind of press that over just to ensure that there's no creasing or anything like that. So now taking the eyeshadow palette, I'm actually going to first go in with this shade here. So this is the shade Lovely Bunch. This is actually the kind of second lightest transition matte brown shade we have in the palette. So this one up here would be the lightest one. This would be the second lightest one. So I like to go in with the second lightest transition shade to start off with, to kind of pack down the colour, and then we're going to blend with the lightest transition shade, if I can get my words out. And to be honest, I'm not going to make this eye look rubbish. Like, I'm not going to, you know, sit here and just like be stupid with it. Like, I am just going to do it how I probably have previously done my eyeshadow in the past. And then on my do side, I'm obviously just going to use techniques which I've learned over the years that definitely enhance my eyes more. So you can already see that that P. Louise base has creased. So I'm just going to kind of press out the creases. This base is designed as well to be left kind of like unpowdered, like you're supposed to just go on top of your eyeshadow. So I'm just kind of using the product how it's supposed to be used. So I'm going to start off by putting this brown directly in the crease of my eye, this is a technique that I always used to do. And I'm literally just going to kind of take that on the outer corner and blend this all throughout the crease of my eye. So I'm sure if you've watched any makeup tutorial ever, you will have heard the term, I'm just going to take this through my crease. Basically, the crease of your eye, obviously, as you all know, is where your eye creases, funnily enough. So I'm just going to kind of go backwards and forwards and sweep this colour right throughout the crease of my eye. And I'm going to kind of take it all the way in as well. What I'm kind of doing with this as well on my, bearing in mind this is the don't side at the moment. So what I'm actually kind of doing with this is I'm literally following what my eye is giving me. So I'm following my natural crease and I'm also following the natural shape of my eye. So if you look at my eyes are quite round. They're not the smallest eyes. I have quite large eyes, but my eyes are very rounded. The ideal kind of eye shape that kind of people are trying to achieve nowadays in today's times is that really nice kind of almond, elongated, kind of foxy eye style, which actually, even though it's a trend, it does look kind of like the most flattering on the majority of people's eyes. If you are trying to achieve this kind of vibe and you've got more kind of rounded eyes, then the last thing you want to do is follow the natural shape of your eye, because then you're just enhancing your natural shape as opposed to creating a new shape. I'm going to keep doing this because you know what I mean. It's all kind of quotation mark appropriate. I'm keeping this quite rounded on my eye, which is what I always used to do with my eyeshadow. To be honest, I just used to keep it following my natural shape. So that looks fine. It's quite a nice shade. I really like that shade actually. It looks absolutely fine on my eye, but now I'm going to show you a way of doing it which is going to make my eyes look a little bit more lifted, a little bit more elongated and almond shaped. So I'm going to take that same colour, exactly the same colour on the same brush, and I'm going to hold my mirror a bit higher, and I'm going to, so my mirror is here, just under the lens, and I'm going to look straight into the mirror and I'm going to kind of take that shade directly above my crease. So I'm going to sit that shade right about there. So as you can see, the crease of my eye is here and I've taken that shade a few millimeters just above my crease. I keep looking here because I'm looking in the viewfinder so I can see what you're seeing. What I'm going to do now is, instead of going in a round motion, which is going to follow the natural shape of my eye, I'm going to kind of pull this directly outwards and almost kind of take it in like a straight line on my eye. So kind of like a horizontal straight line on my eye. And you want to go in with a little bit of product at a time. You don't want to go in with too much, because if you do that, you're going to find that your product's just going to kind of blend into areas you don't want it. Whereas if you go in with a little bit at a time, you can just build it up slowly and slowly until you get the colour payoff that you want. So I'm taking this kind of quite far into my eye, like we did on the other eye, but this time I'm going straight across as opposed to in that kind of circular motion. Okay, so don't worry about blending for the second because I haven't actually gone on to the blending stage yet, but you can already see, if I'm looking directly into the lens, that this eye already looks a lot more lifted and a lot bigger and kind of pulled up than this eye, where it kind of just looks a little bit more round and a little bit almost pulled down. So you can just see by literally just applying one shade in a different position how much it can change your eye shape and look, and your whole face, to be honest. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go in and kind of blend these shades so that they don't look quite harsh, because obviously I am aware that this looks quite like a harsh line, as does this one. What I like to do is take the same brush that I actually used to apply that colour, and I literally just go on the back of my hand and kind of take off any excess product that is left on the brush. I do sometimes use this. I got this off of Amazon. It's really good. It's kind of like one of those magic brush cleaners. So it's essentially like one of these kind of hard sponges, and you kind of just like go like this and it kind of cleans your brush. But to be honest, my hand is just easier and more convenient, so I usually just use my hand. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lightest shade in this palette. So this is the shade Coolida. Coolada. And because this is ever so slightly paler, there's really not that much in it, but because it is ever so slightly paler, it is going to help us blend the eyeshadow better. So I'm just going to go in and blend this, and I'm going to continue to blend in that kind of same circular shape as what I applied the colour with. So I'm going to go in small circular motions and kind of blend this right around. So that is that eye blended. Obviously, as you can see, it hasn't really given us much of an elongated shape. It's just kind of continued to follow the natural shape of my eye, which is quite rounded. So now I'm going to take that exact same shade. By the way, this brush is a Morphe M433. It's a really nice kind of like blending brush. It's kind of all that I use at the moment. So I'm just going to go very slightly above that shade that we just put down, and I'm just going to blend with this. So I'm just going to go in kind of like backwards and forwards motions until I'm happy with how it's blended. And I'm not worried about this portion here and this being blended because I'm going to put more shadow there. I'm just worried about the top being blended. And I'm kind of taking this quite high up, so you can almost see I've only really left a tiny little strip of skin where there's like no product near my brow, which isn't everyone's preference, but I personally think that once the look is complete, it looks really, really nice, and it does give the illusion that you've got a bigger eye. And I'm just kind of sweeping and taking this shade right almost like past my brow and kind of upwards and outwards, again obviously helping to create the illusion that my eye isn't actually so round and it's more kind of feline and sort of fox eye shape. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that blend for now. I might go in and touch up just a little bit later once the look is complete. I'll see how I feel. Next, what I'm going to do is go in with this really small brush here. This is one of my favourite brushes. I spoke about this in my kind of all-time favourite brushes video. If you missed that one, I'll link it down below. I just basically speak about all my favourite makeup brushes. This is the Morphe M506. It's the perfect kind of small but really fluffy little blending brush. It's also got a little bit of a taper on it as well, so it helps to kind of put the product down where you actually want it. I'm actually now going to take the darkest shade in the palette. This is the shade Nutty. First of all, I'm going to go on my don't side, and I'm basically just going to deepen up what we've already done. So I'm basically going to just put this colour directly on top of what we've already done, which is essentially going to cover all of the hard work that we've just done with the blending and everything like that. But I'm also going to continue to show you what it looks like if I take this in the same shape of my eye. So I'm going to start by pressing this on the kind of outer corner, and I'm also going to keep this quite low down, quite close to my lash line. So as you can see on this eye, we've got a nice kind of blown out blend quite high to the brow. On this eye, I'm going to keep everything quite low and quite sort of close to my lashes, and you're going to see at the end kind of like what effect that actually gives to the overall kind of look. So I'm just going to keep the shade down here. I'm not really going to blow it out. I'm not really going to take it too far up. I'm literally just going to blend it and keep it right down here. And I'm just going to kind of use like circular motions just to kind of blend that. Okay, so now for my do eye, I'm going to go in with the exact same shade, but instead I'm going to go in with a slightly more flat kind of packing brush. I'm just going to take a little bit on this brush, and what I'm actually going to do is just kind of pat this quite close to my lashes, but it's going to be quite hard for me to actually explain what I'm doing, but you can kind of see I'm kind of starting from the center of my eye. So if I look directly in the mirror, I'm going to start from where my pupil is, so the black bit of the eye, and I'm basically going to drag this all the way out. So yeah, as you can see, it's almost created like a little wing, and it's really helping to give the illusion that my eyes are really nice and lifted and pulled back. So I'm just going to slowly go in and kind of pat this on. And I'm going to take this quite high up, so I'm going to take this almost up to that shade that we blended earlier. And this doesn't have to be perfect, so don't worry too much at this point, because I am going to go in and obviously like blend it out and all of that good stuff. But for now, I'm just kind of packing the colour where I actually want to put it, and then I'm going to go in and blend. Okay, so now on a different Morphe, this is still the same brush. It's a Morphe M506. It's the same brush that I used to apply the darker colour on this side, but this is a fresh one. I'm just going into that first shade we used, so this one here, the kind of second to lightest brown shade, and I'm just going to literally go on the edges of that colour that we just applied and kind of blend the edges so that it kind of blends really nice and seamlessly into the eye. And this brush is perfect because it's quite small, so you can really just go in literally just on the edges of that colour and blend without kind of messing up the whole placement of where you just put it. Okay, so I just spent a few more seconds blending this side. As you can see already, there's such a huge difference. We've literally used the exact same shades on the same eyes, like in the same position, but this eye just looks so much more kind of lifted. Obviously, it looks a little bit more dramatic, but you can kind of tailor what actual shades you use for this look. So you wouldn't have to use something as dark as this, but I'm just trying to use a little bit of a darker shade so you can actually see what I'm doing. Whereas this eye just looks a little bit more smaller, it looks a little bit more kind of rounded, and you can't really see the eyeshadow as well as you can on this eye. So I'm now going to go in with a shimmery shade. I'm actually unsure. Ooh, that's nice. It might be a bit light though. That is so nice though. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with Cocoa Crush. It's the most beautiful shimmery pinky kind of white champagne. It's like got a load of different, yeah, it's kind of like literally like a pink champagne. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flat MAC brush. This is actually a MAC 242. I actually love this brush. However, for a shimmery shade, shimmery shades are known to work best with your finger. So I'm going to show you how it applies with a brush. It will probably apply amazing because Colourpop shadows do just work amazingly, brush or fingers. However, I'm going to just show you on the don't side how it applies with a brush and how you can make it pop even more on the do side with your finger. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on the brush and I'm just going to apply this to my lid. And specifically what I'm doing with this is I'm literally just applying it to my lid. So I'm applying it no higher than above my crease. I'm just kind of taking this shade in that kind of first sort of like 2/3 of my eye, and I'm not bringing it any higher than that. So that is how I used to do my eyeshadow all the time, so I'm guilty of this as well. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it like that. So that looks really nice. You can see the colour really nicely. It's definitely applied well with the brush, like you can definitely see it. It looks nice and shimmery. However, on this side I'm going to go in with my finger. Because this isn't too much of a precise look, your finger will definitely work with this. Just be careful because obviously you have less precision with your fingers, but you're going to see how much the shade like pops more with your finger. So I'm just going to start by lightly tapping and pressing this on my eye, and then I'm gonna tip my head back because I find more eyelid gets exposed this way, and then you can kind of slowly swipe that shade onto your eyelid. So as you can see, the colour on this eye looks like it's popping a lot more. Like you can really see that kind of shimmer. When it's gonna like hit the light, you're gonna be able to really see it because it's popping a lot. Whereas on this side, kind of just looks a little bit wishy-washy, like it looks fine, but you can definitely see how much it pops more when it's applied with your finger, sorry. My application on this eye as well, which is my do eye, I did take it slightly higher than my natural crease. This is gonna give the illusion that you've got more kind of eyelid space and your eye is bigger. So if you take it slightly above that natural crease, when your eye is open and you are looking directly straight, which is probably what you're going to be doing the majority of the time, you're still going to be able to see that shimmer because it's coming up slightly higher than your natural kind of crease. Whereas by the time we put lashes on and everything like this, you're probably not even going to see that shade very, very much at all. Okay, so because we did apply the shimmer with our finger on this side and it has got a little bit kind of everywhere, I'm just going to go back in with that flat brush with a little tiny bit more of that brown shade, the dark brown shade on it. And I'm just going to kind of slightly press over where the shimmer kind of covered it because I still want you to be able to really see this kind of brown shade, which gives us a really nice kind of lift and a contour. So I'm just very lightly kind of pressing over the top of that. I haven't got much product on the brush, so it's not going to leave me with too much kind of like splodges or anything. Yeah, so just going up nice and close so that you can see the eyes so far. So that is the kind of upper lid eyeshadow done. It's a very, very basic look. Like this look is nothing revolutionary. It's nothing that no one's done before. I'm aware of that, but I want it to be quite a basic look because this video is all about technique. Now I'm going to show you eyeliner. I find it quite hard to do eyeliner on camera, so I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I'm going to try my very best. For eyeliner, I'm going to use my favourite of all time. They've actually discontinued this product and I literally feel like crying because this is the best eyeliner that ever exists. I've tried them all. Well, not them all, but I've tried a lot and this is the best eyeliner. This is the Sensei, just the Sensei liquid eyeliner, and this is in the shade black. Oh, got an itch on my nose. This eyeliner is super kind of like pointy. It has the really nice brush tips, and why I love it so much is it has this like little button at the top that you can press and it kind of pushes down more ink. So if you find that you're having problems with your eyeliner being, I don't know why I'm trying to sell you this because it's literally, they don't sell it anymore. But I like this eyeliner, so I'm going to use it today. So on my don't side, I'm going to start off with my don't side first. And I'm going to do my eyeliner in a way that I always used to do my eyeliner. And this is at a time when I really didn't think that I suited winged eyeliner, purely because I was doing it wrong for my eye shape. I'm going to start off in the kind of inner corner of my eye. And I'm not going to be able to talk when I do this, to be honest. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the shape of my natural eye, which is obviously rounded. And I'm going to go right from the inner corner right to the outer corner. And I'm going to do quite a nice small sized wing. This is the eyeliner that I have created on my don't side. So we have a nice cute little pointy wing, which is absolutely fine, but as you can see I've gone slightly thicker with my eyeliner actually on my lid, which is something I always used to do when I started out using eyeliner. And this basically just enhances again that kind of circular shape to my eye, and it kind of just makes my eyes look a little bit smaller and a little bit more rounded, and kind of, I don't know, it just looks a bit heavy as well. Like it actually just brings my eye down as opposed to lifting them up. Now on this eye, I'm going to do my wing slightly differently. So I'm actually going to start by going from the outer corner of my eye and doing a line straight up. I use my lower lash line as a guide, so I essentially follow my lower lash line and do a line all the way up. I kind of go about halfway from my eye to my brow. Then I go from about halfway of that line back down towards the centre of my eyeball, and that is where I stop my eyeliner. I don't take my eyeliner into this kind of inner portion of my eye at all. I leave that completely free because I want to create the illusion that my eyes are more almond shape. Okay, so I definitely went a little bit heavier on the eyeliner than I was planning to, but doing it on camera is like really hard for me because the position that I need to be in is not the position that I would be in if I wasn't doing it on camera. But you can kind of get the idea and the kind of style that I'm going for. It's really kind of lifted my eye out and upwards, really pulled the face up. Like if you can see, like literally look at the difference of my face. It's changed my face. My eye looks weird. Because I never do my eye like this anymore, I'm actually like not used to seeing my eyes like this. This is how I've been doing my eye makeup for some time now, so this looks strange. I have a feeling this video is going to be so long because I've literally been filming for about 20 hours, it feels like. It's not been that long, it's literally been like an hour, but I feel like I'm going to have to edit this out of this video. I'm taking Palm Reader now. That's such a cute name. This is going to be perfect for the inner corner of my eye. So on my don't side, I'm just going to literally take this on the inner corner of my eye, just like so, and just put it there. That's literally what I always used to do. Just literally plop, and there it is. It's in the inner corner of my eye, which it looks fine. Like it helps to kind of open my eye. The reason why people do this, in case you didn't know, with a kind of lighter shade is to essentially kind of like brighten the eye and make it look a little bit wider and open. On my do side, I'm going to take a little bit more product and I'm going to kind of focus that right in that point, which is where, sounded like my neighbour just knocked on the wall. Anyways, I'm just going to focus that right in that point, which is where I focus the other bit, but I'm slightly going to kind of draw it up ever so slightly and kind of blend it. And I put too much on there, as you can see. So I'm just gonna do the little hand thing and then I'm gonna kind of just like blend that. And this way it kind of, I don't know, it kind of connects to the eyeshadow a bit better. It looks like it's kind of all one as opposed to just a little splodge of product there. And then what I like to do is just go in with a tiny bit more product and then just again focus it right on that point, just so we've got that nice blend, but then the main focus of that eyeshadow is right in there. Okay, so I'm quickly going to do the lower lash line. The lower lash line is something that I don't always touch. Sometimes I will literally just do my eyeshadow and leave it like this, like top heavy. I love that kind of look of a top heavy eye. I think it looks really flattering, and if you really want to have your eyes be pulled up and have that really kind of like Bella Hadid, the Kardashian style eye, then leave your eye a little bit more kind of bare like this on the bottom, and that will give that illusion. But just for the sake of today's video, I am going to do the lower lash line because I know that a lot of people do prefer to kind of like balance out their eyes with the lower lash line. So on my don't side, I'm going to take the darkest shade that we use. This is something that I always used to do. I always used to think that whatever darkest colour I applied on my lid, I would just go underneath my eye and just apply that like all sort of underneath my lash line. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this ugly face and just run this product, again following the natural shape of my eye, like so. And as you can see, that looks ridiculous. It literally looks ridiculous. Why did I used to do my makeup like this? Why didn't anyone stop me? So I am just going to leave it like that because I never used to really like blend my lower lash line either, and this is a mistake that I see a lot of people make. Oh my god, the worst one. The worst, okay, really sorry if you do this, but please, like, this is not a good look. When someone puts liquid eyeliner, like literally just a thin liquid eyeliner underneath their lashes. Why are we doing that, please? So what I'm going to do on my do eye, bearing in mind that I'm not the biggest fan of lower lash line makeup anyway, like I just said, I'm actually going to take the lightest shade in the palette, so the one that we use to like blend. I'm going to put this, and this is the fluffy brush that I use, the Morphe one. I'm going to kind of focus this on the kind of outer portion of my eye, so kind of like the, yeah, sort of like halfway along my eye. And obviously because this is quite a pale shade, I'm going to kind of blend this quite low as well because it's going to help to create a little bit of a transition for the darker shade that I'm going to put on in a second. Now I'm going to use that flat brush that we originally used to pack on that dark shade, and I'm going to take that dark, which is what we used on the don't side, and I'm going to take it right on the tip of that flat brush, so not on the base of it, the tip of it. I'm going to get right in my mirror and literally just put that product right there. And that's just literally sitting on the outer kind of portion of my eye. Now I'm going to go back in with my Morphe and I'm just going to blend. Because any kind of darker shades will 9 times out of 10 need blending, otherwise they are going to look a bit harsh. And as you can see, because I haven't really put any colour in the centre here, it hasn't made my eyes sort of go down. If anything, it's made them go up, and it's kind of continued to create that shape. And this gives a little bit more smoke. So this would be perfect for if you've got like more of an evening event, or if you're doing more of a dramatic makeup. But for every day, I would personally just leave it. But this is what I would do if I am doing a lower lash line. So on my don't side, this is something that I've been doing now for quite a few years, but I never used to do this when I first sort of started out with makeup. I'm actually going to take Eyeliner. This is my favourite eyeliner to use in my tight line. This is the Huda Beauty Lifeliner. Is it called Lifeliner? Yeah, Lifeliner. And I'm going to take the kind of pencil side. So this is a double-sided. You've got a liner, liquid liner in one end, a pencil in another. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tight line with this. If you haven't done this before, it will feel super weird doing it for the first time, but once you get used to it, it's fine. Just let my eye calm down. My eyes always water when I do this. What this does is it makes sure, I mean, it's something that you're not really going to notice too much on camera, but in person, it looks so much nicer when you do this trick when you have got liquid eyeliner on, or just eyeliner in general, because it means that you're not going to be able to see any skin and everything's going to be black and kind of nice and cohesive. It will also make your lashes look thicker. So it's a really good tip if you can kind of get the hang of doing it. It's really uncomfortable, but once you start doing it, it will change your life because it really does make a difference to how your liner and your lashes look. Okay, so something that I never used to do as well is curl my eyelashes. So on my do side, I'm going to curl my eyelashes with my Surat eyelash curlers. These are my favourite. Curling your eyelashes will really help your mascara to obviously sit a lot nicer and obviously keep your eyelashes nice and curled. Even though my lashes naturally aren't the straightest in the world, I still find this makes a huge difference to how my eyelashes look. So I love doing this. Next, I'm going to go in with some mascara. So I'm going to go in with this one by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Legendary Lashes Volume 2. I've actually been really enjoying this mascara recently. I'm kind of trying to finish it up because it seems to like never end. I've had this for so long and it's still going strong. But yeah, I really like the way this makes my lashes look. So on my don't side, this is kind of, I mean, I do this all the time anyway, so this isn't really a don't, but I'm just going to apply like a thin layer of mascara all over my eyelashes because I'm going to be going in with lashes anyway, so this kind of doesn't really matter. But because I haven't curled my lashes, they aren't going to sit as nice and they're going to be a little bit more straighter. So I'm just going to apply a little bit because, as I said, I'm going in with lashes anyway, so I wouldn't really usually apply like a ton of mascara if I'm going in with lashes. On my do side, I'm just going to go in and do about the same amount of mascara all over my lashes, but as they are curled, it's going on a lot nicer and my lashes look nice and curly and lifted from the root. Okay, so that is mascara on. You could literally just leave it here. Like, you don't need to apply eyelashes for like every eye look. Sometimes I don't, I just leave mascara on, but if we're going for more of a glam eye look, then I do like to add a lash just because I feel like it does help the look to look nicer. So for lashes, I'm going to go in with the Lumi Cosmetics lashes in the style Tyler. I actually did a sponsorship with Lumi Cosmetics a few videos back now. It was quite a while ago. Honestly, not stopped using them since. Like, this is not sponsored. Obviously, these were gifted, but I just love these lashes. I literally can't stop using them, especially in the style Tyler. Like, Tyler is my favourite. I use them in pretty much every single Instagram video. Oh, that was a horrible noise. So if you do follow me on Instagram and you always see like my eye looks or my looks in general, I've pretty much like 9 times out of 10 always got these lashes on because they just are my favourite. And they're vegan, cruelty free, they're really super inexpensive and they're lovely. So I'm going to be going in with these today. So I've ever so slightly trimmed the lashes to fit my eyeball, and I've applied some Huda Beauty black lash glue. I really like using black lash glue just because if you've got black eyeliner on or anything like that, then you're not going to be able to see the lash glue. It's just my personal favourite and I love the Huda ones. So I'm just going to wait for these to go dry. So I kind of wait about 30 seconds to a minute once I've applied the lash glue for them to go a little bit tacky, and then I'm just going to apply this to my don't side. Okay, so the lashes are applied. They're absolutely stunning lashes. Like, they are really fluffy and just full and amazing. But as you can see, they have now completely covered up literally everything that we've done with the eyeshadow. So when I look straight ahead, you literally can't even tell that I've got eyeshadow on because the lashes have pretty much covered it. Obviously, this could be amended if you just use mascara or you use a slightly more natural lash. You would still be able to probably see a little bit more of the eyeshadow and liner through it. But even still, because we haven't brought it up much above the kind of natural crease, you literally can't see the eyeshadow anymore and it's kind of all disappeared. On my do side, what I've been doing recently and what has literally changed the game for me, changed my life, if you will, is I've been taking my Tyler lashes and actually cutting them directly in half. So I'm just going to take my scissors here, being careful not to actually like cut the actual lash and just the band. I'm just going to literally chop them in half. So this is now what I'm left with. It's literally like 4 little kind of clumps of lashes, if that makes sense. So I've just applied a little bit of glue to my lash and I'm just going to wait for that to go tacky. Just for reference, when I cut the lash in half, I actually use the inner portion of the lash to put on the outer corner of my eye. If that makes sense, I just find that it looks a little bit nicer and blends in a little bit better with your natural lashes. Where you haven't got any lashes, obviously, on this side of your eye, it looks slightly more natural when this lash is slightly shorter because it just blends better. So I'm just going to kind of place that down, and then I like to wait for the kind of glue to dry and sort of set on my eye first before I go in and like pinch it to my lashes with the tweezers. So something that I love to do to make my lashes appear a little bit more natural on the do side is I'm going to go in with a tiny bit more of mascara, and I'm basically just going to blend the lashes together. This is going to be a little bit more necessary as well, especially as we've done the kind of half lash, because we want to make sure that they blend really nicely with the lashes that haven't got any falsies on. So the front part of the eye I'm talking about. So I just mainly go over that join where the false lash has joined my natural lashes. So if I kind of come back a little bit so you can see the way my eyes look, I don't know about you, but I definitely prefer this side. It just looks a lot more clean, a lot more lifted, a lot brighter, and it also does look bigger as well, in my opinion. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of mascara to my bottom lashes. I'm kind of not really going to do anything different on this because I've always kind of applied my bottom mascara the same. What I am going to do on my don't side, however, is apply quite a lot of bottom lash mascara. And kind of it looks quite clumpy and spidery, which I actually do quite like that look sometimes. Like, for certain eye looks, it looks really nice. On this eye, I'm just going to go in with a little bit less, and I'm going to focus it more so on the outer portion of my eye. So I'm not actually really going to put any in the kind of inner corner. I'm just going to kind of very slightly go in and just put a little bit on that outer corner there. And because I don't like my bottom lashes to be too spiky these days, for the most part, I just go in with my nail and I kind of grab off any kind of blunt ends of the mascara just so that it looks nice and fluffy and cute and it doesn't look like I've got like a load of mascara on there. So last but not least, I'm just going to go in with that highlighter shade that we used in the inner corner of our eye, and I'm going to take that on the same brush and I'm just literally going to put that like all over my brow bone on the don't side of my eye. This is something that I used to do. I just used to like whack a load of highlight right up there on my brow bone, and that's actually a bit too much. It looks a bit ridiculous, which to be honest it looks fine, and for certain eye looks this will work really nicely, but I personally just think it looks a little bit unnatural and a little bit too much. So on my do side, I'm actually going to go in with the highlighter that I used on my face, and I really like doing this because it really ties it in with the rest of your face. I'm just going to take off the excess on that brush, and I'm just going to take a tiny little bit of that highlighter. This is quite a beaming highlighter, so I don't even want too much of this, and I'm literally just going to place it right under that arch of my brow. I'm barely even putting any on. And then I'm just going to kind of blend that out with my finger. Okay, and that is pretty much the finished eye looks. So this is what the eyes look like up close. Let me know what you guys think. Do let me know if you try it out and if it's like changed the game for you, or maybe it hasn't. Maybe you prefer doing your eyes more so like this side. But yeah, that is the end of the video, guys. Please do let me know if you enjoyed this video. I know it was very kind of like teachy and a little bit too, maybe like too much information, but I really enjoyed filming that actually. And if you guys would be interested in seeing like an eyebrow one, maybe a lip one, like overlining the lips, maybe even like a skin one, like a foundation one or something like that, do let me know in the comments down below and I can definitely think about filming that for you guys. But yeah, that is it for now. So please do like the video if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe if you haven't already. That would be absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.